go ahead and fall into the back and grab and slide. And honestly, I fit. And what I'll do is I can drop the second row from here, yoink, and now that should go down no problem. This is actually legal. We did it.
Look at that.
I didn't break any laws. Yay. And you have night vision. So we are now in Super Cruise. This does automatic lane changes and all that, which hopefully it will do one soon because we are doing 50 miles an hour and I have it set to not 50 miles an hour. Hello everyone and welcome to this EV Geek Studios video. As always, I'm Sebastian and the one and only flooring that GLB, golly. And the one and only Mr. Joel Spencer is behind the camera.
Holla.
And we have with us a 2026 Cadillac VISTIQ Premium Luxury. So if you guys have been around our channel for a while, you might remember we've actually driven VISTIQ before, 2026 VISTIQ. The one we drove previously was a base model, and it was VIN number 44.
Early time.
Very early video, very early VIN vehicle for the VISTIQ. And we always wanted to get back into one of these on a higher trim level because this one has most of the options, just to get it out of the way for now. So that first VISTIQ we drove had a sticker of right under 80 grand, and that was for tax credit reasons. This one is stickered at 95. So a bit of a difference in pricing between the two trim levels. But yeah, I'm really excited to take a look at this and see. And the early VISTIQ had some software bugs, some issues that hopefully have been kind of kicked out of this one since it was released. So like always, we're going to do a little exterior tour, show off the outside, talk about speeds and feeds as we do it. Then we'll move on to the inside. Spoiler alert, this one has a blue interior, which really, in my opinion, pairs real nice with this like silver color on the outside.
Show does.
We'll do a full interior tour, show you all the cool stuff on the inside, take it out for a spin. So without further ado, let's plug in and get started. All right, so 2026 VISTIQ Premium Luxury. So one of the things we'll just talk about right off the get-go, this is an option, 23-inch wheels. So not as big as what you'd find on an Escalade IQ, but pretty dang big. And honestly, I feel like they fill out the side profile of this car pretty dang well. These are bright silver wheels, so they're kind of old man spec, but it really works in my opinion on this vehicle. If you look around front, this has your very typical Cadillac EV face where you have the lined pattern in the grille, vertical headlights. When I unlock it, you should be able to see, you can see the animated turn signals, and it should start doing a little animation. It's gonna light up in the grille. There we go. And then it starts filling up the headlights. Just a little dance, and it does that when you walk up to the car, and it's really cool at night, but unfortunately, I can't turn the sun off. Probably for good reason. Anyway, coming around, front driver's side charge port, which is not the right side for Tesla superchargers, but I digress.
And it's different than from the Escalade. Escalade's in the back.
Yep, Escalade's in the back. This is still a CCS vehicle, power charge port door. Should be around 200-ish kilowatt peak DC fast charge rate. This is the 12 module Ultium pack, so it's around, GM claims 102 kilowatt hours, but I think it's actually 112. It's kind of a number I've seen people throw around before. This one is with the 23-inch wheels rated for exactly 300 miles of range. This vehicle is all-wheel drive. All the VISTIQs are all-wheel drive. You can see when the vehicle is unlocked, it has auto-presenting door handles, so when it's locked, they fold in along with the power mirrors. When it is unlocked, they pop out. You can see you also have a space here for a key card, and I believe these are getting the early access to the mobile key as well, which is nice to see GM is adopting that feature. It's a long time coming and is well wanted among a lot of EV people, especially people who have previously owned Teslas or Rivians and things like that. You have your typical Cadillac motif here on the side with the little line design again it's electric, right? Come around back. This has a very traditional shape for a crossover SUV. This is a 3-row. The VISTIQ and the Lyriq have a lot in common, especially under the skin. And we'll actually look at that when I open the front end. This doesn't have a front trunk, but you can see very clearly where they raised the body line up from the original VISTIQ chassis. It's pretty comical. But around back, so you can see VISTIQ 900 E4. So this is torque in Newton meters, if you didn't know. And E4 is electric, 4 for all-wheel drive.
Also, huge shout out to Parker Cadillac for letting us borrow this baby for today. Thank you, Mark and the team over there.
Yeah, to open the trunk, you press the Cadillac badge. This one's an actual button. The IQ is a capacitive, and it didn't seem to work that often.
You had to hit, I think, the bottom of the...
But that being an actual button just makes it easy. And you can see, not a huge trunk. It is a 3-row SUV. That's kind of expected. That said, you can, it looks like, drop the 3rd row from here. It's like if I hit this, it should. Very nice, although the headrest is going to hit.
Boing.
Yep, but I can put it back up. And what I'll do is I can drop the 2nd row from here. Yoink! And now, that should go down no problem. I'm really surprised the headrest doesn't automatically fold it. Oh, there it goes. Never mind. And you can tell once you do that, you would have a very wide open, honestly, just go ahead and do this because we can fold them back up.
Yep.
Boom.
That's a lot of space if you got to throw some stuff back there to...
Yeah, a lot of space, and it's pretty flat all together, like with it like that. Now you can raise the 3rd row up from here. You cannot raise the 2nd row from here. The 2nd row is more of a mechanical, so that was more of a just it released and then went. You've got these factory cargo liners here that are bunched up weird because all the stuff is laying on it.
A peek of the blue color too.
Yeah. Otherwise, not a whole lot else back here. You do have a 12-volt outlet, some tie-down hooks, and
floor mats.
That's about it. I'm assuming it has a little tiny bit of underfloor underneath all the junk. Yeah, not very big. Go ahead and pop that close. Like you noticed, power lift gate, of course. And if you want to hop in, there we go. I'm going to start the car so we can get some air
How
conditioning.
about you push that seat up for me too in the back?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a toasty one out here in Little Rock today.
Here we go. AC's on. Should start booting up here in a sec. There we
Do
go.
you remember the outside color of this?
It's on the window sticker.
Okay.
I'll take a look at it.
There's that blue, baby.
So I'll go ahead and, if you want to take a look real quick though. So you can see if you're in the 3rd row, you do have a button on the back of the seat to automatically fold it forward. So it's pretty easy to do. To put it up, let's see, pull the lever. Pull the lever, Kronk. There we go. You also have a button here on the inside of the door. I don't know if you can get that, to raise and lower the 3rd row. So if you're about to put someone in and you're like, oh crap, it's down, you can do it from here without going around to the back. All right, now that that's up, I'll let you hop in. I'll come around this side. So you are behind where you were just driving. Now it might have done some entry exit stuff. You've got good leg room. That
Plenty
said,
of leg room, yeah.
I can tell that the 3rd row would be a bit small, so I'm actually gonna go ahead and hit this button here, which should give me easy access to the 3rd row. You can see it tilts up to get out of the way, which is nice. Now go ahead and fall into the back and grab and slide. And honestly, I fit. I have knee room. This is only a 2 across 3rd row, so nothing like that. I do actually have a little glass roof, which is nice.
I never noticed that.
With a glue bead that is stuck.
Spider web, maybe?
No, it's glue.
Okay.
Because it's very sticky. Anyway, and then I have my little windows here that have the Cadillac motif, which is funny. I have an air vent, which is nice. It's currently turned off, it feels like. And a USB-C port, cup holder, and a little bit of a device pocket as well. And then to get out, I'll just hit this button, and it launches itself forward. And then to get out, I will contort my body, take a little bit of a slide, take a little bit of a slide, and boom. And then I'll come join you.
Hello, Sebastian.
In the 2nd row. So looking at here, you have a little screen here for your climate control. You do have, it looks like, heated seats in the 2nd row, which is nice. You have auto climate. This is a 5-zone climate system in this car, which is nice. So 2 up front, 2 in the 2nd row, and then the 3rd row is its own zone.
You may hear it blowing, so.
Yeah, it's hot outside. Sorry, y'all. You can also choose where the air is coming out, and you have some little controls for like your ambient lighting. If you want to change it from here, 2 USB-C ports and household style power outlet and cup holders.
Yep.
All the way on the floor. So you take a peek at the door, you can see you have B-pillar mounted air vents, which is nice, as well as the AKG audio system. You can see you've got speakers above and on the side. You have this big glass roof that actually opens, which is a bit of a rare sight on a lot of EVs. Like to see it.
And it has a shade too.
And it has a shade built in. And you've got a little armrest area. This is weirdly a raised floor, which is weird to see in an EV. I do like the factory rubber mat comes all the way up, although it doesn't really cover the
whole
carpet,
way, yeah.
which is a bit weird. Anyway, before we need to look at the front trunk. I was like,
Yep.
It's hot. I was seriously considering just saying, okay, let's just jump into front, but
Yep.
we'll do our due diligence.
Let's do a look at that front trunk real quick.
Or lack of front trunk.
Or
So you come in here, it's one of these floor pop situations, and you pull it twice, boom, boom. And we'll pop it open, excuse the fan noise, but this is what I was talking about. You can see there is the old body line, and here is just where they raised it up for the Lyric.
Yep.
VISTIQ. Also, an interesting array of wiring and everything else.
Could have put a plastic cover on that or something.
And it could have been a front trunk. I mean, it's so deep set in there. And you can see it actually looks like it has stud posts to mount stuff to it.
It does.
Anyway, we'll go ahead and pop that closed so it's quieter. One thing I failed to mention, so not only is this 23-inch wheels, this also has air suspension. So it does easy exit, entry exit. I believe it's actually in the lower height right now when it's since it's parked. And then it will raise itself up to when you go into drive. Let's go get an AC.
Please do.
All right, we are now inside the very blue VISTIQ interior. And real quick, just because I already forgot to open the glove box and look at this. So the exterior color is argent silver metallic and the interior is phantom blue. And as mentioned, $95,760 total vehicle price after destination. You can see the options on this RV, $1,000 for 23-inch wheels, $700 for some puddle lamps, and $300 or $400 for the floor liners. So, without options, it's 91. There you go. 300 miles of range, 86 mpge. Final assembly in Spring Hill, Tennessee. Oop, throw that back in there. Close it. And let's just talk about, so this is kind of the interior and really the vibes of this car are baby Escalade. And we talked about that in the last one. And this premium luxury really kind of nails that kind of idea in. You've got blue interior, soft touch material everywhere with this nice wood grain on the doors and on the lower console here. This silver material. I'm appreciating there is piano black in here, but it's not as much as it could be. Like you obviously have piano black here, and the buttons on the steering wheel are piano black, which I think is the most hilarious place to put piano black finish.
That's the thing you're going to touch the
This
most.
is what you're going to literally have to touch to drive. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, it's like everything in here feels nice, especially I like the wood accenting and the chrome, but not chrome. It's not, because it's not actually reflective. It's just silver trimming. And then the leather on the doors and everything. It feels like a nice interior. Now, if you dig too hard into it, it does remind you that it's a GM vehicle, but just don't dig too hard into it. Enjoy something. Anyway, this has a pretty typical Cadillac layout. It's, this is like the Lyric and the Optic. This is like the Escalade. You've got your little dial for media control, a little roller for volume. Go ahead and crank that all the way down just in case. You have your center console we can pop open. There's one USB-C port in there, and it's carpeted, not very big. Perfectly adequate though. And if you look at now we'll just take a peek. Actually, since you're already kind of up there, sorry, I'm making you go all over the place.
You're fine.
2 wireless phone chargers up here, and you can see both sides, and 2 USB-C ports. Way up at the top.
There.
So 3 USB-C ports in the front, combined with the center console. And we'll talk about the lower screen. So kind of by default, it is your climate control. So you can come in here, you can either tap this down to adjust temperature, or you can slide it up and down. And it also does a little vibration, which is interesting. Little haptic response. You have some little quick toggles here. You can change the front, second row, and third row climate from here, which is cool. And also come in here and change where the air is coming out, front, second, and third row. And then you have a seat menu. So this has heated and cooled seats with a heated steering wheel. You can see we have our heated or cooled seats on max right now. You also have an option here for massage. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and do that. I need a good knead in my back. Would you like a knead or a roll?
I'm gonna do a knead.
Okay, there we go. Now we're both getting massaged.
Bougie
And then you have
yes.
position, so I can come in here and change my seat from here, or I can change your seat. I can also change my seat, and you can change your seat from the door controls here. You can see you have your typical seat controls, heated and cooled seats. You also have, we have memory seats on both sides, which is nice. And this little knob, which controls your massage and lumbar and all that jazz, which is good to see that you have duplicate functions. GM loves their duplicate functions. Anyway, so moving on from that screen, this is very typical GM, right? We've seen this in their EVs before. This is their Android Automotive system. It's laid out the exact same as it is in other cars. You can hit vehicle status, and now you have a little vision of the car where you can tap and see your tire pressures, and you can see energy efficiency and energy usage and all that jazz. And you can hit any of these and you can hit add to driver display, and now you can see it is here on the left end of my display. I'm actually gonna turn my massage off. It's a little loud. It's distracting me. So I should go ahead and do, I want my energy usage. Why not? Boom.
There you go.
Cool. Coming out of here, you have drive modes in this thing. So you have Tour, Sport, Snow, Ice, and My Mode. You also have a V button here on the steering wheel. So that's Sport mode turned up a little bit more. I'll go ahead and My Mode it. So I want soft steering, soft suspension, some more sportier brakes, more sportier acceleration, and I think ST is silent, no motor or no fake noise, which is kind of my preferred. You have a toggle here for one pedal, also, which I now set to normal because I don't like the way you drive with the high. Sorry, Joel.
I'm a little jerky with my high.
So I'm gonna go high for myself. I'm more used to the GM one pedal tuning, I guess. You have Play Store, so like Android Automotive, typically you can install apps like Waze, Spotify, Amazon Music, etc. You have your charge menu. Pop that open. Right now it's set to 100%. You can set all the way down to 30%, and it says 89 miles at 30%, or 300 at 100. You have chargers. We'll show you like a list of chargers. You can also come in here and you can on-demand precondition. Getting ready. Give it a sec. It says it's ready to plug in. That said, I imagine we're going to hear the AC compressor start kicking up. There it goes. We're already ramping a little bit to try to cool the battery some before we plug in. You can set some preconditioning temperatures for where you want the cabin temperature to be before you drive. Before you leave, you can set a charge cord limit down to 16 amps. This is a 48 amp onboard charger on this one. Let's see here. Get out of a charge menu. You have your camera menu, so you have a 360 camera with a top-down basic kind of view. Pretty basic interface, honestly, for the 360 camera. I really like the way GM does the 360 in their trucks. Mm-hmm. And I wish they would just use the same interface on all of them, because the truck interface is excellent. But anyway, we'll exit out of that. You have ambient lighting in here. You have auto park assist, Wi-Fi hotspot audio. So like I said, you can do AM, FM radio, or probably not AM, probably just FM. Bluetooth audio from your phone, or you can do built-in Spotify, whatever. No Apple CarPlay, no Android Auto.
Go to audio for a minute. Okay, there you go.
Right now, there's no apps installed, so it doesn't have that many options. You do have Sirius XM as well. You can hit Maps, and it has Google Maps built in. This is in demo mode still, so every time we get in, we have to tell it, yes, I understand.
All these things.
But since it's Google Maps built in, it talks to the car and can do route planning. So if I want to go to Austin, Texas, it'll find us some charging stops, and boom. Now, we are at a lower set of charge leaving here, so it's probably more stops than we would need to. And I like that it will
take one of those stops away if we were 100%.
Yeah, and I like that it'll show usually, but it's for some reason kind of being wonky. If I go ahead and just hit remove charging, it'll actually tell you how much of the route you can use Super Cruise for, which is cool. So like a preferred route, it says it's 7 hours, 27 minutes, and Super Cruise will be available for 7 hours and 16 minutes of that, which is nice. That said, like I mentioned, this has Super Cruise. I believe it has standard on all VISTIQs, which is a good feature. You have your phone menu, you have controls, so GM loves moving their controls and putting them all in here. So you have your child safety, you have another button for camera. You can open the glove box from there. It also pops up there on the bottom of the screen. You have conversation enhance, which means my voice is now being pumped into the back seat so I can yell at the kids without yelling and turning around. You've got auto high beams, auto park, power window lockout, motion sensor for the alarm. I can lock out that rear screen if I don't want those meddling kids meddling with the settings. I can open the charge port door. I can hit see more controls, and it just is all the same stuff, but again, with an addition for a button to do a universal garage door.
That's cool.
Which will automatically pop up location based, which is nice. And really not a whole lot else in here I want to talk about. You can kind of do a split screen where you can put the map on one end and whatever, although it looks like the map is forced to this side, which is the tiny side. I don't know that I would do that personally. What I'll actually do is I'll do this, and then we can come over to this screen. So right now we're just kind of in the normal gauge setup. So you have speed in the middle, battery on the right, power on the left. One thing that I'm noticing, I don't see actual state of charge in % on this screen, which is frustrating.
It pops up on the left when you
get
stop.
out.
Yeah.
But like while I'm driving, I just get like a guesstimate in my range. And I can come in here to change it to sport, and still nothing. It just now has my big power output in the middle, speedometer on the right. You can change it to energy, which you would think, oh, that'll have your SOC. Nope, still just range. Why?
The Escalade had it. Yeah.
Map. Now I have Google Maps on this screen and on that screen. Still no SOC, still just 124 miles. You have the assist view, which is your driver's assistance view, and you have night vision, which takes it a second to start up, but it's essentially an infrared camera that's supposed to be designed for helping you like identify deer and stuff at night, and is allegedly able to detect them and kind of warn you as well. But we're in the middle of the daytime, so it's not getting a good view. And you have this little thing here. Okay, I can adjust the brightness of said night vision. Neat. Take it out of night vision. I'll put it back on. Yeah, we'll put it on this one. Why not? You're still drawing 4 kilowatts running of AC. You can also come over here and adjust your HUD. This has GM's new augmented reality heads-up display, which we can talk about more as we drive.
It's really cool.
Allegedly, it is really cool and probably way better than what we just saw in the Escalade IQ, which was a very basic, simple HUD. You can also, if you don't want the augmented reality, you can just change it to a standard or the driver's assistance view. Go back to augmented reality. And then you can swipe over and adjust the brightness and height and all that jazz. You also have trips over here, so you can swipe through them and do whatever, or you can get rid of them completely if you just don't want to see anything, don't want to be bothered. Like I mentioned, steering wheel, so you do have Super Cruise. There's a little sensor that watches you all, at all times, as well as up here. You have buttons for all that here. You have your V mode. You have media controls here, a regen pedal on this side of the steering wheel. And over here, you have buttons to adjust the suspension from increased to normal to lowered to entry exit. And do you low rider? Can you low rider the VISTIQ?
Low ride.
No, it looks like GM took that away from us. I'm so sad. But other than that, not a whole lot else to get into on this interior. You do also have a digital rearview mirror, which I always love to see. Go ahead and get that kind of adjusted how I want it.
I guess also to cool ourselves, we could close the shade too.
We could have, which you can do from right here. So like I mentioned, you can open this. Boom. There you go. So if you wanted to open the roof, you can.
We don't see a lot of power sunroofs on EVs.
I know.
Yeah.
Which is a bit, why I'm a little surprised that this one has it. I mean, the Escalade does it. Go ahead and pop that closed. I mean, you can go ahead and we'll close the shade too while we're at it.
Probably would have been easier for us to record the screen with the shade.
Yeah, we didn't think about it. You can also see up here you have the interior camera. So GM has been rolling that into a lot of the Cadillac EVs and some of the other brands as well, with the intention of being able to add that through software updates to where you can check it on the app and things like that. And they've started adding even some like Sentry Mode-esque features through over-the-year updates, which is really nice to see other automakers do, because these cars are already covered in cameras. You might as well use that to your advantage. And then other than that, fairly normal stuff in here. Ready to take it for a spin? Let's take it for a spin.
All right, you get to finally look at me on camera. Sorry about that. So we are in the VISTIQ. Sebastian's behind the wheel. So being full disclosure, we just got done driving Escalade.
We did.
So we don't know how these videos are going to release, so this may be before the Escalade or after the Escalade. So I'm curious how you feel the driving dynamic is different from this to the Escalade.
Yeah, so this has, this is the top end model. So this has air suspension. This has rear wheel steering. This has, I'm missing a verb. Anyway, it's all wheel drive. It's all the things. Big tires. This has the big wheels and all that. And right off the bat, I can tell you for certain the air suspension rides better than the coil sprung version of this car. So the base model, has a regular coil sprung suspension. This definitely feels a lot nicer. Has a lot more float to it, a lot softer ride, which is what you expect out of the Cadillac. It's also got good power because all-wheel drive and 900 Newton meters of torque, whatever that is in normal units that people actually use that the Cadillac's not using because the numbers aren't as big. Anyway, I'm really liking this augmented reality heads-up display. So like you mentioned, we just drove an Escalade, we drove an IQ-L, but it was the sport model, so it was one of the low entry-level trims. This heads-up display is nicer. It's bigger. It has the augmented reality feature, so I went ahead and put directions into where I'm going, even though I know where I'm going. And it's really cool because it's showing like the directions on the heads-up, and it's showing like arrows, and arrows get bigger as you get closer to the turn and everything. And it like projects more in the middle of this windshield or your view and not all the way down on the dash like they usually do. Even down at the bottom of the dash, it's just showing me like speed and just like a miniature directions. It's also, I think it's quieter than the Escalade was.
Although I do get something, I get a weird reflection of this blue off the windshield.
Interesting, which is very interesting because that was
like right now when the sun hits it, because it almost looks like there's some sort of like bluish tint on the windshield.
You know, that was a issue for Equinox.
Yes.
Anyway, so I'm going to try to get the adaptive cruise turned on. So I hit adaptive cruise, I hit set. This does have, since it's a 2026 model, it has hands-on lane centering when you're on a road that doesn't support Super Cruise, which is really nice, but we're on a road that supports Super Cruise, so I'm going to hit Super Cruise. And right now it says hands-on centering on, but not active, and hands-free driving active. So we are now in Super Cruise. This does automatic lane changes and all that, which hopefully it will do one soon because we are doing 50 miles an hour, and I have it set to not 50 miles an hour. Let's see, it's going to speed up a little bit though as this car gets around.
So question, Super Cruise is standard, it's not an extra pay feature?
No, so standard it's standard on VISTIQ. That said, there's a subscription component to it. It's included for 3 years on the purchase of a new GM vehicle.
Okay.
After 3 years, there's a monthly cost, and I can't remember what it is. Yeah. It's like $50 a month.
Yeah. But 3 years is, for the most part, a life of most people.
It's, I mean, at least a lease worth, right?
Yes. If you're leasing it, you have that correct.
Bump speed up a little bit because I want to see it do some auto lane change action. But yeah, I would argue to say that this is quieter on the road than the Escalade was.
Good.
This is really comfortable.
Yes, it is.
And this is a more manageable size, I feel like. Yeah. This is something that most people would actually be more comfortable driving. I say that as if every other car we see on the road isn't a Tahoe or a Suburban or a Yukon or whatever.
Decent charging, not too long of stops as you would be in an Escalade.
Fine, 40 minutes-ish usually, which is not amazing by any standard, but it is what it is.
It's not a 200-something kilowatt battery like the Escalade is.
So. A lot of people don't care about DC fast charging speeds, and I just have to come to accept that, I guess. Okay, it's not seeming to want to auto lane change, so I'm just going to hit it. Ooh!
You saw that?
Yeah, so it shows the little icon. In the augmented reality, it shows like a little thing telling you it's looking, and then it turns green as it gets over, and then it straightens back out once it's in the lane. That's actually kind of neat.
Very Mario Kart-ish.
Very Mario Kart, yes. Mario Kart is a good description for that. But yeah, I do not have my massage on for some reason. I mean, come on. There we go.
You turned it off because it was distracting.
Vibrated the seat. We're getting over because it does ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, I took over. I intervened.
Yep,
we both started getting over at the same time. Sorry, guy.
Yep.
It's fine, but it is neat though that it will take into account navigation, so it won't like take the exit for you. Yeah. But it knows that it knew that I was coming up on an exit and therefore needed to get over.
It told me in Escalade to take control of your exit as approaching.
Yeah, it's like change lanes to follow routes, what it keeps popping up on the screen and saying.
Now we're going to pass the exit, just mess all up.
It's fine. It's no big deal. Actually, it's trying again. This is actually legal. We did it.
Look at that.
I didn't break any laws. Yay. Anyway, and especially so that was highway performance, and it's like quiet, very soft, it has a bit of a float vibe to it. That's it. I am in Vitour suspension mode. I wonder if I put it in sport, if it would have a bit more road feel. I said, this isn't a performance car.
No.
People don't expect you to have a sporty feeling suspension or whatever. It's not a BMW. I mean, come on. It's a Cadillac.
Yeah.
And this is a very comfortable vehicle with 300 miles of range. It could be a decent road tripper. That said, on a road trip, I personally would want faster DC fast charging. Yes. I would want 10 to 80 to be better than 40 minutes. 40 minutes is...
You did bring up a good point, because we've done a lot of videos with DC fast charging lately, and it doesn't seem to be a big deal to people.
I know. And it's like, and I understand.
Yep.
It's like most people don't take long trips that often.
Yep.
But I mean, even for example, we went up from where we lived to Fayetteville. It's a one charge stop. Like there's a one stop to get from here to Fayetteville or from where we live to Fayetteville. One stop for 20 minutes on a 3-hour drive, 3.5 hour drive, or one stop for 40 minutes on a 3.5. It's like the time difference it is noticeable. It's like 40 minutes is a long time to spend in a Walmart when you're not actively shopping.
Yeah, if you're going coast to coast, you would see.
You would definitely feel that after, 2 stops.
Yes.
But some people don't care because if they legitimately only do one road trip a year, then they're willing to work with that. For the trade-off is all the good stuff that comes with having an EV. Yeah. You wake up every day with a full charge in your garage.
Yes.
Like you cut out oil changes, you cut out a ton of maintenance in theory. Like there is so much advantage to
tires and wipers.
And that's why it's like a lot of people don't care about DC fast charge speed because ultimately in the grand scheme of things, it's really not that important. Yeah. Like instill very strongly in the party of we need to be pushing manufacturers to do better.
Yeah.
Like manufacturers should be improving charge speeds. They should be improving charge curves. They should be making it easier, because I also still feel like DC fast charging is crucial
Yep.
for like moving forward, because a lot of people aren't able to charge at home.
Mm-hmm.
You have people that live in apartments or shared housing or multifamily housing, whatever, that feasibly cannot have a charger at their house.
That's true.
And then they have to rely on public infrastructure and public DC fast charging or whatever. And if you get cars that charge faster, you get better throughput through the public DC fast charging that's already there.
Yep.
And as you get better throughput, you have more availability of it, and therefore more people can
Yep.
use it, and blah, 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 blah. It's a cascading effect of things.
I wonder if it's just a cost issue right now. It's just I don't
know.
The benefits don't outweigh the cost right now.
It's a great question.
Or we're just spoiled from driving EGMP cars that charge ridiculously fast.
Maybe that have been around for 4 or 5 years
Yes.
now and still charge better than almost every other vehicle on the market today.
Yeah.
But that's not the public topic of this video.
No, it's not. We have videos on that, so please go check them out. You want to start our final thoughts while we're driving? We're going to pull in this little parking lot. We can't go to Parker because they're doing construction, so we're going to kind of pull into the side.
They're getting a whole new, pretty new, brand new dealership. Oh, why didn't we get a protected green?
Little Rock, come on. You got to do better than that.
So yeah, final thoughts. Joel, I'll let you start while I try to navigate.
So first thing is I love the interior. I love this blue interior.
Yes, the blue is hot.
I like how we have all the different colors going on over here. I don't know why. We have like the gray, the dark gray, the light gray, the wood grain, the black, the blue. A lot of different colors going on here. I like that. I like my cars to be very colorful. Like you said, it does feel like a better ride than the Escalade. I mean, well, of course, it's probably going to be a smaller car.
Mm-hmm.
Has the air suspension.
It doesn't weigh 9,218 pounds.
No. I don't know if you could justify bumping it up to the $96,000 version as compared to the $80,000 version that we drove before. I don't remember that because it's been over a year since we have that. Well, that was a big bump.
That was a big bump.
Yep. How about you pull beside this
weird Ioniq 5?
This weird Ioniq 5 is parked here in the middle of nowhere. So yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a really good ride. I wish, like you said, DC fast charging speed would be a little bit better for those times you got to take that road trip. But yeah, what about you?
Yeah, so I mean, ultimately, I really do like the VISTIQ. It's a very great package. Baby Escalade is a great description for it. So as we were driving it, air suspension definitely made it feel softer, floatier than the coil sprung version did. The rear wheel steering is not that aggressive.
No.
Especially not compared to like Escalade or whatever. It must have just less degrees of turn, which makes sense. It's a smaller vehicle. It's a whatever. It doesn't probably need that intense of rear wheel steer. But even compared to something like the EQE and the EQS, those things also have insane rear wheel steering.
Yes.
And in this, like, you notice it's there, but it's not near as like the other vehicles. You almost feel like you're fishtailing, right? Like I successfully U-turned that Escalade IQ. It didn't even swing out in it, and it was not a super wide road or anything, and I was just blown away by it. Anyway, but like this does ride nicer. I'm almost to the same party as you of being like, but is it worth an extra 15 grand to get all that extra stuff? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's really just a question for, I mean, personal taste. I'd be very curious to know what these lease for.
Yeah.
Like, what is the difference in lease cost between those two trim levels? What are the incentives, whatever else? Because this is a luxury vehicle. A lot of luxury vehicles just get leased. People don't a lot of times just buy them. Like you said, I want better charging. I understand why it might not be a big deal to people, but I want better charging. 300 miles of range is perfectly adequate. Would love to get one of these maybe on a longer term so that we can actually see kind of what average efficiency is and whatnot. I mean, on this little trip that we just did was 5 miles. We averaged 2 miles per kilowatt hour, which is not great. Yeah. But that also includes a lot of sitting in idle time and things like that. I was going to see lifetime, but the lifetime doesn't help me because it's a dealer car, so it's also had a lot of idling and sitting time. But yeah, I mean, that said, it's like $15,000, but you get more than just the adaptive suspension, all that. You get a nicer cabin, you get the massage seats, you get the cooled seats, you get all this extra stuff that
23 speakers.
23 speaker. The sound system in VISTIQ is awesome.
Yes, it is.
It is an excellent sound system. It's got the Dolby Atmos and all that, which I don't usually care for, but like it legitimately helps.
You've got the 8 kg speakers.
You've got the speakers above you in the first and second row. You've got speakers in the headrest.
I forgot about that. Yep.
They're all over the place. Banging sound system. Maybe not XC or EX90 level sound system. I still think that's probably the best sound system in the biz, but pretty dang good. But yeah, I mean, VISTIQ is a baby Escalade. Yep. And if you're looking for a car that's as nice as an Escalade, but maybe not as big as an Escalade, this is a perfect fit.
It's $50,000 cheaper.
Especially if you want a Cadillac.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see how this starts selling because, this is a 3-row, so it's still kind of in its own class in a sense. But as these other automakers come in, like, as EX90 maybe gets some price cuts moving forward, or EX60 shows up in iX3, which I don't think either of those cars are 3-row, but they're still similarly-ish size. It'll be very curious to see how the sales end up shaking out on that. But VISTIQ right now is almost in a class of its own.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. All right, that's it for the day. That's a wrap. Thank you for watching. As always, don't forget to subscribe, tap that notification icon, and hype this video. It really helps our channel grow, and we will see you again under another EV Geek Studio review. So long, everyone.